I was not in the right corral. It's really tight, lots of people. My heart rate went up significantly. It's becoming really hard. 400 meters to go. Maybe there is a chance to get a PB. It's Saturday, the day before the New York City Marathon, and I'm racing the 5K this year. I'm not racing the marathon. I'm gonna take you with me on this journey. Let's go. Right, we made it to the start line. At least to the corrals. Now we need to find my corral and stay there for 20 minutes. There's also the elite race, and so Juice is gonna go film the elite. So see you after the finish line for a race debrief. I really understood fairly quickly that I was not in the right corral because I see people going at a very easy pace. Crossing the start line right now, and I already directly go on the side, right-hand side of the road. As you can see, some people are walking in that corral, which I get, that's absolutely fine. But I was in a mindset of trying to go as fast as I could. So I take that first right-hand turn on the inside. It's really tight, lots of people. I cannot get to my pace, to my desired pace. But that's all right. I'm thinking, okay, let's try to push, but at the same time, of course, be respectful of everyone else on the course. I'm also trying not to go on the sidewalk because two reasons. First of all, I don't want to cut the course, but also second reason is that there's some dead leaves on the ground, and obviously I don't want to fall. I don't want to sprain an ankle on the sidewalk edge, and so I'm really trying to be on the road despite having so many people that I need to overtake because of not necessarily being in the right corral. I was in wave D, corral D, and so I'm kind of in between runners from corral D and C now. So I have a bit more space to move. I'm picking up the pace a bit. My first kilometer was 3:20, but we're not there yet. You're going up 42nd Street, and there's Grand Central Station, there's Bryant Park with the New York Public Library on the left, and then there is that right turn onto 6th Avenue. This is about kilometer 1, so we are 3 minutes and 20 seconds into the race. That was my first kilometer, 3:20 pace, and to break my PB I needed to have a 3:18 pace. So I'm a bit slower, but with all the people I had to overtake and all the navigation I had to do on the course, this is not too bad. Now there is that first small hill. It's not dramatic, it's actually a gentle incline, and I can feel it in my legs. I need to push harder. I'm checking my power output on my watch, and I can see that I'm a bit beyond my power target. But then I also know that once we turn right, we take that right-hand turn onto 6th Avenue, it's gonna be much better. There's a small descent, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. This is already almost flat. There's the New York Public Library on the left-hand side, and I have much more space to accelerate. My heart rate also went up significantly in the second kilometer, and now we are taking that right-hand turn onto 6th Avenue. My efforts start to be a bit more sensible, and my heart rate is up, my breathing is a bit more difficult, and now we have the first mile marker. So this is actually 1 kilometer, 0.6, but my mindset is actually really good. Now I have that descent, I'm checking my watch, I see that my power output, as you might have seen as well, was 354 watts. I was aiming for 350, so this is almost right on target, only 4 watts above my power target. And there is that very long descent to Central Park. And now you don't really see it on the footage, but you can actually see Central Park in the distance. And this is super important when you're racing, at least myself. I like to have visual targets in the distance because it really helps me to be in a good mindset, in a good, in a focus zone, in a focus mode that allows me to see something in the distance and kind of aim at it, target that specific point, that specific landmark, and see it becoming bigger and bigger, getting closer and closer to myself. My second kilometer is faster than the first one, 3:15. So we moved from 3:20 in the first kilometer down to 3:15. 3:15 is a good pace for me. That's my kind of target 5K pace, I would say. So I'm fairly happy. I was a bit disappointed at the beginning that I wasn't in the right corral and that I would not be running with runners of my level, because it helps. Having pacers, having people to run with definitely helps. And I ran the whole thing on my own, as you can see. However, overtaking people also makes you feel strong because you're moving faster than others. It's not ideal in race conditions, but because I only overtook people and no one overtook me for the whole duration of the race, I also had that good feeling of being faster than others and feeling stronger and stronger and stronger. Central Park is getting bigger in the distance. You can see the trees appearing. The descent has stopped. It's now a long flat stretch of road. There is lots of people trying to cross at crossing points, which to be honest was a bit annoying because usually, if I remember well, in New York there's some volunteers and police officers trying to block people who are trying to cross the road, and there wasn't anyone in this case. I was a bit anxious that someone will kind of be in my way, but it was okay. It's just like that annoyance during the race, and now when I'm seeing the footage I actually realize there wasn't anything too dangerous. We are almost at Central Park. I know that at this point I had a bit of a mental thing where it's becoming really hard. You're not even at halfway in your race. I mean, it's definitely mainly fueled aerobically, but also fueled anaerobically for part of it. The longer you go, the harder it becomes. We're at Central Park, so this is Central Park South, right-hand turn. Again, trying to be as much as I can on the inside of that turn to take the fastest possible route, avoiding to run extra distance whenever possible. This is actually a place that I really like in New York. The beginning of Central Park, South Central Park, you have that crossing with Park Avenue, Fifth Avenue. I never remember the order of the avenues in New York, but that's an area that I think is really pretty. And I enjoy running there, I enjoy spending time there. Entering Central Park, this is, we're getting to kilometer 3, and I ran my third kilometer in 3:13. So again, a bit faster than the second one. We went down from 3:20 in the first kilometer, 3:15 in the second, and now 3:13 in the third kilometer. There's the second mile marker right here. My heart rate is now steady at 185 average, which is not as bad as I kind of experienced in the past on 5K distances. When I was a bit younger, my heart rate would go up to 190, even 200 on the 5K. That's one of the benefits of aging, is that your heart rate is getting a bit lower, even at these very fast and intense paces. A bit of an upslope entering Central Park. I know that at this point I was struggling a bit because I was, flying on the flat, and now you have that incline, and it's very taxing on the legs after 3.5 kilometers at 3:18 average pace. But I see that left turn now, again, trying to take it as much on the inside as I can. It was a sharp turn, so I kind of had to slow down, but I remember very clearly now that in my mind, having to slow down to take that very sharp turn was actually a very good thing, because I kind of recovered for half a second, which is really not much, slowing down a bit and then going again all out. It felt good, especially because going all out again was going all out on a very gentle descent. We're getting to kilometer 4, and my fourth kilometer was ran again in 3:13, so same pace as my third kilometer. After that long descent in Central Park, you're going up again a bit, and this is already the marathon course where people will be running on Sunday, on race day here in New York. You can see the buildings. This is again the buildings that are basically on the edge of Central Park, and it's again a beautiful view of New York, and being here racing is actually nice. But as you can see, the course is also becoming more narrow and more narrow. With 800 meters to go, there is the 800 meter sign right now, and I was struggling a bit here because it took me some time to get basically to a moment at the beginning of the race where I had a bit more space around me to extend my stride, run a bit faster, and be a bit less surrounded by other runners that were a bit slower than me. And now again, because the course is getting more narrow, I have to play a bit with that navigation, going right and left, trying to find the fastest way. So now we're getting to that right-hand turn, the very last stretch of the marathon course where you have all the flags. The weather, as you can see, is fantastic. Central Park with that orange colors of fall is also looking really, really good. And now 400 meters to go. You only need to, go as fast as you can. I know that I'm checking my watch at this point because I'm like, oh, maybe there is a chance to get a PB. I knew it would be really hard because obviously that would mean running 400 meters in less than a minute, which is something I only did once in my life and not in a race. 200 meters to go, and my pace for the 5th kilometer was 3:06. There is the 3rd mile marker right here. I can see the finish line. I also have the memories of last year running the New York Marathon, seeing that finish line at the end of the marathon. It's obviously much more crowded on marathon day, and now I am crossing the finish line, done. And this is it. I'm stopping my watch, I'm checking my time. My watch says 16:49. My actual chip time on the app is 16:48. So this is not a PB, my 5K PB is 16:35. This is 13 seconds slower than my PB, but still very proud, very happy. It's also probably my last race in my 20s because I'm gonna turn 30 in a few weeks. I kind of finished the race thinking, oh, this is like, you know, the last one of a decade of running. Average power, 351 watts. My target was 350, so I ran 351, which is really, really good, spot on. Elevation gain on the course is only 31 meters. It feels like a bit more, to be honest. Do you like seeing footage like this? Shots, POV? I actually liked commenting and seeing the footage, but I would love to know from you if you enjoyed it. This was my 5K race in New York. 16:48, no PB, but very proud. Go check my Strava if you want to give me some kudos or just check my stats. And if you raced, I also would love to know from you in the comments how you did, how it went for you. Thanks a lot for watching today. Enjoy your run, enjoy your ride. Go beyond your limits, and I will see you on a 5K course or anywhere else very soon.